record this. We're dealing with inverse sine. Our sine function that we're going to deal with, and I want to write it the way the book writes it, just to make sure that it all stays uniform, is we're doing dealing with this part right here for x. If you think negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2, what quadrants is that? What? Okay, quadrants. Remember quadrants? This was 0, this was pi over 2. Was this negative pi over 2? 4 and 1. So everything we do today will be in quadrant 4 or quadrant 1. What's wrong, Chandler?
It's going the opposite way.
We're either going from here to here, or we're going from here to here. All right? Every answer you give me today will be in quadrant, will be between these two values. Either quadrant 4 or quadrant 1. Every answer you give me today. All right? When we talk about inverse, going backwards, that's what that means. We're going backwards. All right? It also means that every value that I give you will be here. Every value I give you will be between -1 and 1. Every value. Because I told you we're going backwards. Normally I give you x, you tell me y. Today I'm giving you y, you tell me x. That's what inverse means. I'm going to give you y, you're going to tell me x. Okay? You don't look sure of that at all. Didn't I've dealt with problems and graphed this, haven't I?
Yep.
So I'm going to now give you the y, you're going to find x. So this is the same thing as, sorry, that's a y. I can hardly read that. I'm going to hesitate just a minute. All right. So we're going to go backwards. I'm going to give you y. This is the same thing as this. Y equals sine of x is the same thing as x equals, and this is said as arc sine of y, or the inverse of sine. That's what that says. I'll teach you that later in the week. Okay? Everybody understand this?
Sure.
What this means is, for what value of y, what angle fits it. All right? We're going backwards. So let's do one and see if maybe it makes more sense. All right? If I tell you this is the problem that I give you. What that says is, for some angle, the sine of it is 1/2. What is the angle? That's what that actually says. some angle. Now, is my angle going to be in quadrant 1 or quadrant 4? 1, because it is positive. Do you agree? So if I'm in quadrant 1, isn't this 1 and this 2? Do you agree? Is my third side. What is my angle? What is this angle? It's got to be pi over 4, pi over 3, or pi over 6. Pi over 6?
Yeah.
Why did you say that with a question in your voice?
I'm not that sure. I'm not gonna lie.
So this is equal to pi over 6. Does that make sense to you? Let's do another one. Ooh, I don't like that one. What quadrant is that in? 1? Okay. So it's here. Is radical 2 over 2 the same thing as 1 over radical 2? Is this? Okay. So you're saying my angle's pi over 4? How did you know that? Which is a good thing to know. All right? So what's the answer to this? Pi over 4. Okay? You good with that? What if I ask you, this says arc sine. That is the exact same thing as sine negative 1. They write them both ways. Doesn't mean anything different. Now, what quadrant am I in?
4.
4? I'm making sure everybody agrees. Everybody agree it's 4? Because it's negative. So I'm here in quadrant 4. This is negative radical 3, and this is 2. What is my angle?
Pi over 3.
What'd you say? Pi over 3. But, did I go down?
So it's negative pi over 3.
So it's negative pi over 3. All right? Everybody okay with that? Why did I say at the beginning that the value I have to give you is between negative 1 and 1? Does anybody know? Why did I? Well, no. No? Anybody know why I said that? Because when I graph the sine graph, I'm only going to graph here. Doesn't it only go to 1? And where does it go down here? If I went to negative pi over 2, it would look like this. Unless it's what?
Yeah, the A.
Yes, but we're only doing sine and cosine with no number in front of it. They're not going to trick you with that. So do you agree? Why what I give you has to be between -1 and 1? So, knowing that, can we do a harder one?
Yes.
I want this value. This sine -1. Is sine -1. Did we say sine was y over r? Is sine -1 when y is -1 and r is 1? What would that make x? Okay? So if y is -1, r is 1. Is x squared plus -1 squared equal to 1 squared? Isn't that Pythagorean theorem? So x squared plus 1 equals 1. Right? What does x have to be? X squared equals 0, x equals 0. Right? So if x is 0 and y is -1, where am I? Am I right here?
Yeah.
What angle is that? Between -pi/2 and pi/2, what angle is that? -pi/2. Right? Are you with me? So you could have figured that out now? I realize maybe you couldn't have at the beginning, but you could have now? All right. Let's work a hard problem and then I'll let you work, okay? Don't you just work a hard one?
Yeah.
I want to make sure you can do it all.
What about the stuff up front? What would put that?
Just multiply it.
Like multiply it by,
Like I find this value,
and then you
multiply by 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay? When is sine -2/2? Does anybody agree or disagree?
Like, what did you say, Jan?
Whatever the angle is pi/4.
Sure. I honestly don't know what the question was, so I'm going to go with
What is the answer to this? When is sine -2/2? isn't sine radical 2 over 2 for pi over 4. And since it's negative, the angle has to be negative because we have to drop to quadrant 4. We agree with that? So I have 2 times negative pi over 4, right?
Yes.
Minus 3 times, when is sine 1? You all agree it's pi over 2?
Yes.
Everybody okay with that? Two. So I have this problem?
Yep.
You laugh. That's what you all do to me on your paper, and I'm like, I don't know what number this is.
The amount of times I've done something like that, which is why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Just like, right, like, you're like, oh, that's not the number, but it's different ways.
And you're right, and you think I should be able to read it, but you know what? It looks like that. All right. What is this?
That's negative.
Negative pi over 2.
Negative pi over 2 minus, what is this?
3 pi over 2.
So what is my answer?
Negative 2 pi. Whoa.
See, we got the same wavelength, so we're not right.
Negative 2 pi?
Yes.
Everybody agree? So this is what we're doing. You're finding the angle every time. For some of them, you will only find the angle. For some of them, it will be a subtraction or addition problem that you work out. Okay?